Now we see that Damien had pulled Chloe out of the water and was trying to give her breaths so that she could regain consciousness. After a while she comes back to her senses. Because of Chloe's condition, Damien was also extremely panicked. He tells her that until she fully recovers, she must rest. When Chloe opened her eyes, she found herself lying on her bed. Her maid Margaret was standing beside her, and a physician was sitting there who tells her, if Damien hadn't arrived on time, something serious could have happened to you. Thank God he saved you in time. If he had been even a little late, we don't know what could have happened, but something bad would definitely have occurred. Margaret was also worried about her and says, thank God you are fine. I am very happy about that. Only one question was running through Chloe's mind. My chair couldn't have broken like that on its own. Someone is behind this. And I know who is behind it. Someone did all this deliberately. Then she says, Margaret, didn't you say that all the guests have left and only Isabella is still here? Margaret replies, when Isabella found out that you fell into the water, she fainted and stayed here. Chloe asks, where is Isabella right now? Margaret looks surprised and says, forgive me, but why do you want to see her, and why are you asking about her? Chloe looks at Margaret with focused eyes and says, no, it's nothing serious. There's just something I want to tell her, that's why I want to talk to her. On the other side, we see that Isabella was with Damien. She says to him finally, I got time to talk to you. Damien, who was sitting beside her, says, yes, tell me. What do you want to say? Isabella looks quite happy and tells him that Prince Johannes's condition is getting worse and the king has also found out that a rebellion is about to happen. Damien says, is that all you wanted to tell me? She smiles and says, His Majesty has ordered me to take you back with me. If I don't take you back, he will kill me. Finding you wherever you are hiding isn't that difficult. I will go back and tell His Majesty that you ran away on the way, which is why I couldn't bring you with me. Damien, I will help you as much as I can. While saying this, she starts touching her hand with his and says, Damien, don't worry. I am on your side. Damien places his hand on her face and says, Isabella, I think you are not thinking about the fact that just because you say it, I won't go to Windsbury. Isabella says, if you don't go to Windsbury, you will be in danger. Damien says, your skin has gone cold, and that only happens when you are lying. Hearing this, Isabella is shocked. Damien tells her, right now, many assassins have gathered in Windsbury. If I go there, it would be like embracing death. Isabella says, whatever you understand. Damien puts his glass down and says, you are the one making a fool of yourself. Can anyone really be this ignorant? In the future, it's also possible that you could betray me and join hands with the king. As soon as Damien says this, Isabella starts trembling. Damien pours another drink and says, our conversation is over now. We won't talk about this topic anymore. Then he looks at her and says, if you don't take me to Windsbury, His Majesty will kill you, and I will not go to Windsbury with you. Hearing this, Isabella bursts into tears and says, in all of this, Damien, it's your fault. If after marriage you hadn't pushed me away, none of this would have happened. I had no reason to betray you. I betrayed you only because of this. Damien becomes serious and says, who told you that I pushed you away? I never considered you mine. You push away those who are your own, right? You were never mine, so what difference would it make if I distanced myself from you? And how can you say that I abandoned you? You only had to play a role pretending to be my lover when we were investigating the royal family's affairs. Even while pretending to be my lover, you couldn't find out their secrets. That only became possible when you stayed there as the late Queen's maid. And whatever work we did together at that time, I already paid you for it. Other than that, we have no relationship. Why don't you understand this? Isabella falls to her knees and grabs his feet, crying and saying, if I go back, they will kill me. Please, Damien, don't send me there. Damien places his hand on her face and says, poor Isabella, do you really think I would spare you, especially when you planned to murder my wife? How do you think I wouldn't know what's going on here? Isabella is shocked and steps back a little, saying, no, it wasn't me. At that time, I wasn't even near her. How can you say that I was behind her falling into the water? As Damien walks away, he says, Isabella, stop lying now. Again and again, all you do is lie. Seeing him leave, Isabella grabs him from behind and says, Damien, I love you. Please save me. My life is in danger. Please help me. Damien, don't push me away. Whatever I did it for your love. He says to her, get away from me, Isabella. You must stay out of my sight. This place is not good for you. Chloe was standing outside the same room with her maid Margaret. She hears the voices from inside, where Isabella was saying, I love you. Hearing this, Chloe becomes sad, and Margaret, who was standing behind her, is also shocked. Inside, Damien realizes that Chloe is standing outside. As he comes out, he says, Chloe, you're awake? The physician said you need complete rest. What are you doing here? Chloe smiles and says, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were busy. I didn't mean to disturb you. Damien says, look, you can't talk to Isabella right now because she isn't in a state to talk. Chloe replies, if that's the case, then I would like to talk to you about another topic. Please give me permission to go to the Verdier estate. Hearing this, Damien is surprised and says, why would I let you go there? She replies, I want to see my father. After the incident that happened to me, I am missing my father a lot. I won't stay there for long. Damien says, I'm afraid I won't allow you to go. She asks, tell me the reason. Why won't you let me go? Damien says, now you are my wife, so there are certain rules in our house. Right now, you are on duty as my wife. You can't even think about leaving me. Hearing this, Chloe gets angry and says, oh, so you're reminding me of my duties? And look at yourself, enjoying with another woman, while you expect me to fulfill all my duties honestly. Damien is a little surprised, and then he smiles and says, you're feeling jealous, aren't you? Chloe turns her face to the other side and says, no, why would I be jealous of you? Damien says, it's already late, so go and rest. And about seeing your father, we'll discuss it some other time. We'll make some plan, so that both of us can go together to see your father. I have a pressing matter to attend to, so I'm leaving. Saying this, he leaves and says, good night, my dear wife. Chloe couldn't bear all this anymore, so she comes out of the house. She's walking on the snow, laughing bitterly at herself. She says, I knew what kind of man he is. Still, what was I even expecting from him? Whatever is going on in his life, I shouldn't have cared about it. Then why am I thinking about Damien? Maybe I should run away from here. I should go to my father. I don't want to stay in this house anymore. In the next scene, we see that she reaches her friend Gilles' house. He makes tea for her and asks, is everything okay, my lady? She says, I'm sorry, Gilles. I shouldn't have come to your house suddenly. I troubled you. Gilles gets worried and says, my lady, did something happen? She replies, no, Gilles. You don't need to worry about me. Actually, I was fed up at home, so I thought I'd go somewhere. I remembered your house and thought I should come and meet you. I remember the first cup of tea I gave you. It's been 10 years, hasn't it? Gilles says, not 10, 11 years, my lady. It's been 11 years. Then we see a flashback from 11 years ago. He is sitting somewhere when she comes from upstairs and says, you're staring like a puppy. What's your name? Gilles tells her his name. Chloe looks very excited. She has a cup of tea in her hand and offers it to him. Back in the present, he says, the cup of tea you gave me that day, I've never had tea like that anywhere in the world. I still remember it. I can't forget it. Chloe says, I'm very happy to hear that. Gilles says, at least my goodwill was useful to someone, my lady, and suddenly falls silent. Chloe asks, yes, tell me. What is it? Gathering courage, Gilles starts to speak, trembling slightly, when suddenly the kettle on the side whistles. He starts sweating badly. He backs off and says, no, I just wanted to say that winter is coming. If you want more tea, let me know. I'll make more for you. In his heart he thinks, my only wish is that you don't suffer, my lady. She ends up spending the night there. The next morning, as soon as Chloe opens her eyes, she becomes very worried and says, I shouldn't have come to Gilles' house. She returns to her home quickly, so that no one sees her. So far she had succeeded, no one had seen her yet. And if Damien found out that I was at Gilles' house, then neither I nor Gilles would be spared. What was I even thinking? Just then, she hears someone shouting from the side. A maid is shouting, there's a dead body here. Hearing this, Chloe is shocked. And the dead body was none other than Isabella's.